Recorded live from the heart of the Bakken, it's the Williston Works Podcast.
Welcome to the Williston Works Podcast, brought to you by the City of Williston, North Dakota. Williston Works brings you in-depth discussions with the entrepreneurs, small business owners, and investors who are getting it done in Western North Dakota. I'm your host, Sean Wenko, Executive Director of the Williston Economic Development Office, and today's guests, I have JW and Blair Sheering with me. They are the owners of Fresh Fit Kitchen and the Body Shoppe. Blair, I'm going to ask you with the Body Shoppe, what sort of services does this business offer?
So the Body Shoppe is a private training studio. We prefer to be women's only. It's located right inside a Fresh Fit Kitchen, but it has a comfortable setting for women to work out without distractions or feeling like they're being judged or anything like that. And then just having the direct attention from the actual, nationally certified trainer. So Erica Bonner is our trainer right now. And so anybody that comes into Fresh Fit or that messages the page that wants to include personal training along with the help of nutrition through Fresh Fit, it's just a nice complement to the service. So it was something that I had started off with before Fresh Fit, and that's how I gained the clientele and the monetary expenses in order to be able to fund Fresh Fit. Essentially, it was part of it. So it was something I wanted to keep going with the business.
In JW Fresh Fit Kitchen, what can I get there?
Our main goal is to try to conveniently get delicious, healthy food out to the community. That's our main goal. We take out all the shopping, all the cooking. We weigh out every single item that's in the containers, so you know exactly what you're getting in there. Cook everything as healthy as possible, fresh. So when you come in, it's a grab-and-go style. We have a rotating menu, new meals coming in all the time, so you don't get bored of certain stuff.
How did you guys end up in Williston, North Dakota? What's the history on this?
We met in college, 2011. 11, yeah. Was it? Okay, so met in college in 2011. I just got done playing football there. I was a kinesiology major.
Moved to Texas.
Yeah, jump forward a little bit. We ended up moving to Austin, Texas. Okay. And she got into the health and fitness field there. That was her biggest step there. I was already kind of in it. I had been training at Gold's Gym. So she got a good job down there. So we moved down there. We're down there for a year. We actually separated, and I had moved up to Rock Springs, Wyoming with my parents to help them out. My dad had back surgery, and they had a bunch of animals. And so I moved up there to help him. She moved back to Chicago, where her parents are. She's from Chicago. Mm-hmm. I'm from Clinton, Illinois, which is a small town right in the middle of Illinois. So I ended up coming up to Williston just to make money. The oil was up here, it was doing well. My brother-in-law was already up here. He said, come on up, and there's a lot of work up here. So I came up here just kind of, get ahead, pay off some debt. My stepdad and mom came up here also, and he's a crane operator. But anyways, so I was out here for about 6 months, and we had just kind of stayed in contact a little bit. We just started. It was actually funny. We would send each other just like songs or like song lyrics. That was it. There's no other communication. And I went back to visit my buddies one time, and I posted it, I think, on Facebook or something. And I think she saw it, and so we ended up meeting up, hanging out, and then 6 months later, after we got talking, she ended up moving out here. So when she moved out here, Did you start at Buffalo Wild Wings as a bartender?
So I was doing medical device and pharmaceutical sales in Chicago, and I kept that job and worked from home. Mm-hmm. And then I picked up a bartending job, so I started putting away money, and that's how I started paying for my equipment slowly but surely. So I worked out of an apartment gym, and initially posted on New Williston Connections just for the heck of it to see what would happen, and I got just slammed with people. So I started doing consultations and just kind of doing it out of the apartment gym, and it grew super fast. And one of my clients, Carrie Andre, she recommended that I rent a building from her and her mom and start my own private studio. And so we kind of just took the leap, and then that's how the Body Shoppe started, right over there, 629 East Broadway. And from there, that's how we developed Fresh Fit Kitchen. So that's kind of the whole story on that.
I like to tell people when she was bartending at Buffalo Wild Wings, she was actually competing bodybuilding at that time. So. Mm-hmm. But we always meal prep for ourselves before. We always try to eat healthy. Yep. So she would bring all her food in nice and prepped, all ready to go, nice and healthy. And all of her regulars would see her doing that, And they were, I think, joking at first. They said, "Hey, I would pay you if you would cook for me like that."
But if you say that to me, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So she was like, "Bing,"
So
and
I was like,
that's
business.
kind of what pretty much kicked it off there. So we just started real small and kind of felt it out and just kept growing and growing and growing.
And then the legalities of it kicked in, so we kind
Yeah.
of halted it for a while and just kind of worked on saving money, developing the body shop, and we started renting from the Ark. It was initially like how we got a commercial kitchen, because you obviously can't prepare food out of your house for
Right.
other people. So yeah, we ended up cooking out at the Ark for 2 days a week. We would run all the sales on 2 days during the week and try to pump it all out by 9:00 p.m. and it just grew from there. And
There was a point you started working with the Small Business Development Center, correct? And this must have been when you were getting to that next level, getting a little bit bigger, because I think you took advantage of our mini match program. We do a dollar for dollar matching grant for business startups. I think it's up to $5,000 that we do that. I think we did one each for the Body Shop and Fresh Fit Kitchen on there. So you're getting, you get to that next level. What did you encounter? So you're going to get to this next level now. You're talking commercial kitchens. You're talking a lot more expense than that. What were some of the challenges you guys encountered in that?
the biggest thing was, well, there's two big things. The biggest thing was commercial kitchen, just because it's extremely expensive. You have to have all of the equipment in there. There wasn't any space that was available for it. The space that was available for it, we couldn't afford. We were looking at like a $60,000 bill at least if we were going to try to do this. So, and it was, we didn't know like if this was even going to work. Like we were building it pretty much from scratch. I was just like making educated guesses half the time as far as like what to do and what was right. So I just, to invest that kind of money in it was really scary. So I met with Keith about that, and we did the mini match, and it was like a saving grace. Someone saw a Kickstarter that we did because we did a fundraiser to help us try
Kickstarter.
Yeah, we did do a Kickstarter for $11,000 randomly was the money that we got, and we had a special donor right at the end with like 2 days left that finished us off with like $9,000 to get to the 11, because you have to get exactly what you ask for or you don't get anything at all.
Sure.
So yeah, like right at the last minute we got a $9,000 donation. So
Well, and that's what, it's neat that you brought that up, Kickstarter, because what you're seeing with Williston is, if you saw this story that came out, North Dakota is now the number 1 state in the nation where millennials are coming to this area. And really Williston at one point in time, it was an aging community. And there was some concern that, the professional services, they were all getting ready to retire and nobody was coming back to be the dentist or things like that. That obviously changed. And now you're seeing with the changing demographic is a change in a need for services that are unique to that demographic, which is what I think you guys provide.
Right.
I mean, when we talk about your clientele, what's the average age that's coming in there?
24 to 57.
57.
Yep,
Yeah.
24 to 57, and it's actually split 60-40 male-female. It's more of a male ratio right now, but it fluctuates. It's usually 50-50 split, but yeah, it used to be a little bit younger of a crowd, but since we've opened up the grab and go and we've tried to really break out of that meal prep, like only for gym people, only for bodybuilders, and approach it more of a like, we just want to give you a place to eat healthy and to have the option for lunch, or you can have the options for the whole week. That kind of changed the clientele for us. So we were able to increase like our actual age was probably like 39 to 40 was what we were, hanging out with. And then now it's up to 60. We see all different types of people, which is ultimately what we were going for. So.
As far as like when you projected numbers of what you would see, and you said it got really busy and it took off, but is that still kind of trend? Is it still going up for you, or is it better than what you expected, or what are you seeing in the market right now?
I'd say yes. We still are affected, I think, with not only the oil field and the type of place we're in, because not a lot of people live here, and a lot of people leave on the weekends or for holidays, stuff like that. But
The summers are tough.
just the natural trend of health and fitness, like in most like gym owners know what I'm talking about, or like personal trainers. It's the first part of the year is like, the first 3-4 months are like, that's when everyone's locked in trying to get healthy. New Year's resolutions are still going, and then summertime comes and everyone wants to party, have fun, go outside and cook out. They're going up.
They leave on
and do
Thursdays.
and then wintertime hits and no one wants to go out and do anything again. So like, oh, I need to get back on it. Since I'm not doing that. So the wintertime always picks back up. And the last 2 years, I think we've had the exact same fluctuation with that.
Yeah,
but still growing.
Our summer numbers are mirroring very similarly to what we did last year, and so we kind of expected that drop just looking at everything. But We're working on trying to expand in other ways to bring more sales in and open up additional locations and things like that. So I'm not, too worried about it. And I know as soon as, the summer's over, everyone's going to be freaking out about what they did to themselves during the summer. So they're going to be coming back around. But no, we grew 477% in 12 months is like the actual number. And the 477% was based on like our actual metrics from end of month in April. So end of month in April is when we kind of started to see it go back down to that median range where we kind of hang out with during the summer. And then it just picks right back up usually, like once everybody comes home from the lake and they're all settled. So, yeah.
Well, J.W. Blair, we thank you so much for being on the podcast today. I mean, again, it's just a successful business. We hear a lot about Fresh Fit Kitchen, the Body Shop. Thanks to the listeners today for listening to the Williston Works podcast. This is brought to you by the City of Williston. If you're a developer, business owner, entrepreneur, or site selector, and you would like to learn more about the opportunities in Williston, give us a call and we'll help you make it happen. Like and subscribe for more podcasts, and to learn more about Williston, visit willistondevelopment.com. I'm Sean Winkle, the Executive Director of Williston Economic Development, and we will see you next week.